So we're going to teach you this week about be like Jesus. And we're going to have a story that we're going to show you the life of Jesus. And today, we're going to say, be like Jesus, be obedient like Jesus. Be obedient in the small things in life, and be obedient even when you are tempted.
City of Jerusalem. Joseph and Mary were traveling with their family and friends to the city to celebrate the feast of the Passover. They made this trip every year, and the Passover was a huge celebration. Jerusalem was packed with travelers from far and wide, and Jesus, at only 12 years old, did his best to keep up with his family during the 7 days of festivities. Each day, the family was making the most of their time celebrating the Passover. But by the end of the week, Mary and Joseph were ready to travel back home. They packed up their stuff, got the kids all set, and began their journey. But look, Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. Mary and Joseph had no idea they had left him in the busy city. They continued traveling, but by lunchtime, Joseph and Mary still hadn't seen Jesus and began to worry about where he could be.
Where's Jesus? He's still not with you?
I haven't seen him yet, honey. I just checked it. He's not with my brother or James.
And when you were going to tell me this when? Oh, now I'm seriously worried.
Don't worry, honey. It's going to be okay. You go look that way. I'll look this way. He's probably hanging out with Lazarus. We'll find him. Oh, sorry. Have you seen my son, Jesus?
Have you seen my son? He's like this high. He's like
here,
12 years old. Have you
Mary
seen that man?
All around.
This is serious.
He was nowhere to be seen.
I've seen him.
She asked all of the parents in their group and all of their family members, but no one had seen him.
I bet there's something. I've seen him. Baby, I asked everybody that was traveling with us, and no one has seen him. No, this is serious. Like, things happen.
Okay, now I'm starting to freak out, honey. This is what we need to do. Listen, we need to go back to Jerusalem. Don't worry. If he's not here, he'll be here. We gotta go. Let's go, honey.
You're telling me that we left our terrible parents?
No, Mary, listen to me, honey. Look at me, honey. We will find him. I promise you we will. Mary and Joseph searched everywhere for Jesus once they made it to Jerusalem. They looked high and low, but they couldn't find him. It appeared Jesus was gone. For 3 days they searched for him.
Baby, no one has seen him. We've retraced our steps. He's nowhere to be found.
Wait. Actually, wait a minute. We haven't checked the temple. What if he's there? We gotta go check the temple.
He's 12 years old, honey. He's not a rabbi. Why would he be at the temple?
Baby, I know it doesn't make sense, but we need to check just in case. Let's go. Finally, on the 3rd day, Mary and Joseph walked into the temple.
Is that? Oh my goodness, Jesus! Whoa. Wait. What are you doing? I want to go to my baby.
What's he? Listen. What's he talking to? What is he saying? God requires us as believers to follow him, to obey him in everything we say and do. Yet we are all sinners and have fallen short of the glory of God. Our sin nature does not allow us to obey God perfectly. Yes, as it says in Exodus 19:5, now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all the nations, you will be my treasured possession. God knows our hearts. If we truly love him, we desire to keep his commandments and want to obey him. It's a reaction from our relationship with God. Yet, even when people sin, if they repent, turn away from their sin and confess it to God and others, he is faithful in forgiving them. Repent and forgiveness are always a humanity can walk in righteousness and obedience with God, even in their sin nature. Mary and Joseph were astonished at Jesus' answer. All who heard him were amazed at his understanding of God and the Bible.
All right, I'm not going to wait a second longer. I need to go in there. Excuse me, hi. This is my son. I'm sorry. Was he bothering you? I'm very sorry. He wasn't supposed to be here. Thank you. Bye. Baby, what were you thinking? You can't leave mommy and daddy like that, okay? In a city full of bustling people, you know, anybody could have taken you, honey. You cannot do that.
Mom, why were you looking for me? Didn't you know that I must be in my Father's house? I need to be about his business. he was alive and well. Jesus obediently went back home to Nazareth with his parents. And Mary remembered all these things and treasured them in her heart. Jesus began working with his dad in the family's carpentry business. Son, I'm so glad you're of age and can work alongside me. You'll be a fine carpenter with my son. I just know you will. Thanks, Dad. I'm learning from the best. Hey, I'm gonna grab some tools in the shed. I'll be right back, Dad. As he grew up, Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with both God and man. Jesus, look at the news. You've been acknowledged as one of the finest carpenters in all of Jerusalem. Son, you have brought our family honor.
Dad, I've learned from the best. You are the man.
So proud of you, my son.
Hey Dad, I've worked for you for quite some time now, and God has instructed me to travel to the Jordan River to be baptized by our cousin John. Now, I must obey what God says, but if I would have your blessing, I would really appreciate it.
Oh, Jesus, I always knew this day would come. Yes, of course. You have mine and your mother's blessing to go and get baptized. Go! Make haste for Galilee. Be safe, Jesus. I love you.
I love you too, Dad.
So Jesus packed up some of his things and traveled to the Jordan River in Galilee to be baptized by John the Baptist. As John baptized the crowds, he spoke to them about the coming Savior, the prophesied one. I baptize you with water for repentance, but he who is coming after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to carry. I have baptized you with water, but he will baptize you with the Holy Spirit. Repent, turn from your sins, and our Heavenly Father is faithful and just to forgive us.
John, cousin, it is so good to see you, my friend. It has been way too long. I have come in obedience to my Father. I have come to be baptized.
What are you talking about? I need to be baptized by you. Why do you come to me?
John, let it be so now, for it is proper for us to do this to fulfill all righteousness.
Okay, Lord, I will do it. I will baptize you as you request. Even though Jesus had never sinned, he was and is perfect. He was still baptized. He didn't need to be baptized, but because of his desire to fulfill righteousness and to live obediently for God, he did it. Because of his love for God, his Father, he made the choice to obey. Obedience is important to God, and we must choose to obey him even when the task seems unimportant. And when Jesus was baptized, immediately he came up from the water, and the heavens opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and coming to rest on him.
This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
You really are him. You are the Son of God.
Jesus chose to be obedient in the little things of life. Now, how does that apply to us here today? So Jesus grew up just like you. One day in his life, he was 3 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old, 12, 15, 20, until he got baptized around the age of 30. Jesus chose to be obedient in the small things of life. And that's what each one of us needs to choose to do. Now you might say, well, the small things aren't very important. Hey, what if your mom says, son, you get home from school from here, and your mom says, hey, I want you to go and clean up your bed. So you go into your bedroom, and you tuck the clothing underneath the bed, and you stick some stuff in the closet. You do that. Okay, you pull the covers up, put them up over the bed, and hey mom, all done, I'm going to play. Or are you being obedient? No. That is not being obedient in the little things. Now, if you actually put the stuff away, put it in the drawers, and make your bed carefully, and you go back and say, Mom, it's all cleaned up. I'm going to go play. Can I go play? Yes, that's obedience. So, but we tend to think, people tend to think that obedience, you don't have to be obedient to small things. But I'm here to tell you that Jesus was obedient in the small things in life. He obeyed even the small things that his parents asked him to do. How do your mom and dad know that you love them? If you say, Mom and Dad, I love you, but you disobey them, do they think that, can they sense that you love them? No. If you say, Mom and Dad, I love you guys, you're awesome, and you do what they say, do you think they can feel that you love them? Yes. And that's the way it is in the Christian life. When we say, God, we love you, and then we do what God tells us to do, it shows them that we do love him. Okay? So, be like Jesus, be obedient even in the small things. Now, back to the story.
After his baptism, Jesus was led by the Spirit of God into the wilderness. For 40 days and 40 nights he talked with God, fasting off of food. Because of the fasting, he was hungry. After all, the man hadn't eaten in days. At the end of the 40 days, his one enemy, the greatest thief in all of history, the most murderous and rebellious assassin that ever dared seduce the world, came to try to tempt Jesus, the only perfect human that has ever walked this fallen earth. Jesus thought he ruled the world. Satan thought he ruled the world, and his goal was to make Jesus mess up, thus killing any chance for salvation. Jesus. You really are the Son of God. Command these stones to be turned into loaves of bread. I know you're hungry, Jesus. It's been what? 40 days since you've had something to eat? You must be starving in that human form. And if you speak the truth and really are the Son of God, then turning these stones into bread should be simple.
Not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. You offer temporary pleasure with bread, but only in God is there eternal life. I will not listen to your orders, Satan. I will walk in obedience to my Father, who, by the way, is going to destroy you. Your time here is short, and your power is limited. We both know that.
Let's take a walk. Then the devil took Jesus to the holy city, Jerusalem, and showed him the highest point, the temple. If you really are the Son of God, throw yourself down. I know the Bible too, and it says in Psalms 91 that he will command his angels concerning you. On their hands they will carry you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone.
Again, it says in the Bible, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test.
Forget the test. I have something better to do for you. Satan took Jesus to a very high mountain. At the top, he showed Jesus all the kingdoms of the world for a moment in time. Look at this, Jesus. The cities in all their glory and majesty. The leafy trees and colorful flowers infesting the surrounding area. Look at them! Millions of people crawling amongst them. These humans have gotten pretty smart. Look at the great pyramids of Giza. Those were constructed by the finest architects in the Middle East.
They were built by slaves. People who were beaten and dehumanized to glorify the pride and wickedness of our human hearts. They were built by my own people, the Israelites.
People have accomplished groundbreaking technology, advanced modern medicine, shaped new languages, the list goes on. What will they think of next? They are getting more and more powerful each day. And yet, as always, they require a leader. I will give you all of these things, humanity, their glory, and ultimately the world. If you would do this one thing for me, worship me. After all, I've done it all. It has all been delivered to me. My will all be yours.
Begone, Satan! It states in the Bible, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve. You have no position here, and the power that you do have is only given to you by God himself. Go back to hell. I have conquered again, and I will defeat you forever. Very true.
Remember, Jesus, you may be the Son of God, but you chose to be human too. You may have survived these natural tests, but there is one thing no human being can ever overcome. It is my personal mission for you to die and never come back to life again.
God is all-powerful and the giver of life, and he will crush you and death without even breaking a sweat. Now, I command you, Satan, go away. God, I need you.
Did you catch what happened there? Jesus, just wait. Jesus was fasting. How many know what it means to fast? It means he wasn't eating any food for how many days? 40 days. That's a long time. After 40 days of not eating any food, how energetic do you think you would be? How much resistance do you think you would have? Not very much. But Jesus, right at that moment, when he was so tired, he was so weak, after 40 days of fasting, that's when Satan came and tempted him. See, Satan is going to come, and he's going to tempt you, and he's going to tempt you with thoughts, often as lies. He's going to tell you, God's way is too hard to live. You can't do it. Do you think that comes from Satan or God? Satan. It comes from Satan, not from God. God's ways are not hard when you value the benefits of living for God. Then all of a sudden you see the benefits and you want to live for God. So when you we have to choose now in our life, right where you are, right now. You have to decide, you know what? I'm going to live my life for God. I'm going to be obedient to God even when I am tempted. All right? So Jesus was tempted and he said, no. I am going to be obedient to God. Now watch what happens next.
The devil left preparing for his next attack on Jesus. When the opportunity presented itself, he would seize it and strike. As soon as Satan left, God sent an angel to minister to Jesus. The angel took care of Jesus physically, and soon Jesus' body was strengthened to continue to walk in the will of his Father.
Thank you, Father. I will not seek my own will, but I will do the will of him who sent me. Thank you.
With that, Jesus journeyed towards Galilee, where he was about to start his earthly public ministry. He would need to choose men to be by his side, men of integrity, vigor, camaraderie, and bravery. He wanted to teach them about who God is and show God's love to them and the world. Tomorrow you'll need to come back to see who these guys are that Jesus picked alongside him and see what happens next.